Hi, welcome back to another Nova Scrim YouTube video. Today we'll be covering 5 tips to help you rank up. They're quite varied, they go from aiming to game sense, so make sure to stick around to the end so you can get unhard stuck out of your rank. Now I do also stream on Twitch, so make sure to go down in the description below and come check me out as I grind through and hopefully immortal this act. That's what I'm hoping for. Tip number 1 is utilising the range correctly. Now there's multiple different ways you can use range. People have found other ways to shoot, to aim, to make little mini games within the range. I generally start off nowadays with, I breach ult the practice bots, so I only have 2 stood on the actual range itself. You just flick from one head to the other, you miss one, you just continue flicking between the heads. After that, I'll put a sage wall up, and I'll do some counter strafing with the sage wall as the wall to counter strafe against. Then after that, I'll just shoot some medium bots. Try and get as many as possible, try and go for new personal records. Sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll do hard bots after that. Just really try and get my hands warm. And I do this every day, really, when I start, just to really get my hands warm and really get into the game. And it also does help some flicking and extra little bits that you'd want. Tip number 2, and this one I do try and utilise as much as possible, and that's Deathmatch. Now, I play Deathmatch a lot. It's the best way to actually understand aiming and movement with another player. Now, obviously, Deathmatch can be frustrating, so just put some music on, just vibe out a little bit with it. But what you want to aim to do is clear sights methodically. Yes, sometimes someone will spawn behind you and kill you, but that's fine. If you play on bind and you spawn A, you just push through sight, clearing each angle as you go through, and that's the best way to utilise Deathmatch effectively, rather than just holding angles and waiting for people to spawn into you.
Neutralized.
Tip number 3, and this is really done best with friends, because you can do 1v1s, you can do all sorts of little extra stuff when it comes to this, but it's customs. Now when you're playing customs, you can find different jumps, you can find different little bits about the map that can help you understand it better. You can practice the lineups, you can try different smoke orbs and stuff like this, which will really help you in the long run when utilising your agent in game. Now on top of this, there are so many little different parkour things you can do, like Icebox is a map that really does show people with better movement will come out on top a lot of the time. So there's a lot of places that you can use and find jumps for. There's loads of jumps you can do on like A site alone. So there's one B long where you can jump from crates onto green box. So all this stuff you can learn and put the time into in a custom to perfect it for your actual game. Tip number 4. This is one you hear a lot, but it's VOD reviewing. However, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth and sort of explain to you the different ways you can do it easier. Now, you can watch back your gameplay, and nothing will be perfect. But we're aiming for as close as we can. So if you're clipping, if you're streaming, there's loads of different ways to find your VODs. If you don't have a way to do this, there's lots of programs you can use. I use Flights as a program to clip stuff, and then obviously I use OBS when I'm streaming. So I can look at my footage pretty easily. Now if you clip something, you can always just see, am I shooting correctly? Am I taking the right time? Am I panicking? Am I crouch spamming a bit too much? Am I not crouching enough? There's lots of different stuff that you can look at when you're looking back at your footage. Now, if you take games which are more like 13-11s, 13-8s, that's like how close they can be, where a few rounds could make the difference between you winning and losing. Those are the best to review, because that's when you can see, even in solo queue ranked, what impact your gameplay might have. Because on the 13-11, there is a high chance one of those rounds you tossed. And if it wasn't for you tossing that one round, the game might have swung the other way. Now, remember, there's always games we're going to lose, so you don't want to really VOD review the 13-2s. You're not going to learn that much. However, even just like when you win a clutch, you can look back at the footage and see how you could have made that round better for the whole team. Or just make sure you can clutch better next time. The final tip, tip number 5, and this is keeping good mental. Now, when we're hard stuck and we keep going through the motions, it does sometimes get a bit difficult to clear your head and see what's going right and what's going wrong. Now, if you play 5 games of ranked a day maximum, say, I'll have no more than 1 loss. If I lose twice, I'm going to get off. Sometimes that's better for you, because if you win 3, lose 1, you're ending still positive RR, your grind's still going to go good. But if you play 10 games, you lose the first 5, you're not going to get any better after that 5. You're just going to get in a bad mental way. So sometimes it's better to call it quits, maybe take a break. If you lose your first game on, do another couple death matches, reset yourself a bit, and then continue playing. A lot of people get into this whole, I'm losing, I don't want to play, but I'm going to continue playing because I want to grind ranked. And then you just keep on affecting people's games. You start inting, you start throwing, whether on purpose or not, no matter what. It doesn't generally become helpful to the team. So make sure that you try and keep yourself in the best spirits you possibly can. That's it. Those are the 5 tips for ranking up in Valorant. Obviously aimed more towards a lower elo. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. If this helps in any way, make sure to leave a comment saying which tip helped you the most. And let me know what content you want from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.